Good afternoon, Bruin fans, and welcome to episode 5 here of Something Bruin with Coach Cook. And Coach Cook here with it being episode 5 of the 22 season here. We're just about here at the halfway mark. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty good. I love the weather. It's finally football season. When we talk about the football weather, but it really feels good. How are you doing, Mark?
Hey, I'm doing great, and I know last week I had a personal situation here after work, and things didn't line up, but great to have another episode here of Something Bruin and talk about Bruin football.
Absolutely. Things happen. It's how you adapt and adjust to it. So, we missed last week, but we're back together again and, ready to move on.
Yeah, and let's start here with 2 weeks ago. I mean, both JV and varsity. JV with going out to Grassfield, and the varsity finally having a home game and hosting Grassfield, and JV and varsity there took care of business there against Grassfield football this year.
Absolutely. My JV team has played phenomenal this year under the leadership of Coach Charles Thomas and Eric Santamaro. Those guys have done a great job, but our whole staff as a whole have done a phenomenal job developing those young men. They went out and competed at a high level at Grassfield, and then Friday night we opened up our varsity program at home for our first home opener against Grassfield and Coach Joe Jones' team. And, our boys did a phenomenal job as well.
Right. Yes. And, they're with the home folks. I think to get some student body, participation and some school spirit, had a theme here with Cowboys and Aliens, and definitely Bruin Crazies showed up strong.
Absolutely. We try not to get caught up in the school themes and all that. Our job is to go out there and put out the best product each week. But it's awesome to see the school spirit. It's awesome to see, kids in our community getting involved. And, the Cowboys versus Aliens was pretty cool, seeing, how these young men and young ladies attend our games and whatnot. So it was fun. But also something I saw was our community, coming back and filling our stands up. And young kids that are aspiring to be future Bruins were also in attendance. And to me, that means everything.
Yes, and, once again, the offense here there against Grassfield with Trotman throwing the ball in the air, and to Billups and Devin and CJ and Blizzard running, and then definitely the O-line up front giving some time. Just the Bruins offense didn't waste any time with getting on the scoreboard there against Grassfield.
Absolutely. I believe that's our first touchdown within our first possession all season. Might be the second attempt with that from a statistical standpoint, but I believe going into half or coming out, we were 7 of 7 scoring, or 6 of 7 of scoring, if that makes sense. I believe 7 of 7. So every opportunity and possession we had, we ended up getting points on it. Trotman again has done a great job. Shamik has done a phenomenal job running the ball, and our receiver core are who they are. They come out and they make plays week in and week out.
Yeah, and then over on the defensive side, CJ Frazier and Paul Billups, and then Brickhouse, definitely were the standouts there against Grassfield, and just all in all, a well-rounded game there for the Bruins varsity 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely. Our defense showed signs that week of, being able to compete at a high level. Guys like Cam Warren, Jazari Priester, did a phenomenal job, plugging that A and that B gap, if that makes sense. So, it was good to see those guys compete, smile, play for each other, play for the brand on their chest, and obviously they pitched the shutout. So, we were very proud of their effort on the defensive side.
Yeah, and then it's also with a team game. I mean, whether offense is on the field or defense or even special teams. Just all in all, well-rounded game there by the whole team.
Absolutely. What we've been preaching, or I've shared with our kids, is be one Bruin. Just all 11 competing as one. All 11 flying to the ball. Establishing a new line of scrimmage. Things of that nature on the offensive side, special teams. Just be stingy. And that's the one kind of like thing we've been preaching the last few weeks is compete as one, but really be one Bruin. And our kids have really responded and bought into that philosophy. So I'm excited to see how they look, moving forward as we kind of poured that into them after the Grassfield game.
Yeah, yeah, and last week JV hosted Kings Fork and had a good game there with the JV Bruins and the way the schedules worked out. I mean, this year,
Right.
JV's had quite a few Thursday home games.
Absolutely. Our JV, they showed a lot of grit. Kings Fork came in confident, and Coach Thomas and Coach E found a way to chip away and obviously come out with the victory. And we were happy for them, because they showed a lot. And to me, that's what our future is looking very bright. With that freshman class, sophomore class sprinkled in with some juniors.
Yeah, and last Friday, relating back to the schedule, I mean, with Nansen River having to play at a neutral site, we played at Nansen River, but it was at Kings Fork. And here last Friday night, we were playing again at Kings Fork. And, come to find out, it's the second game that we've played at Kings Fork, and we've only had one home game.
Yeah, absolutely. Kings Fork had a pretty good game plan. Our offense only had 7 plays in the first half, so they really won the time of possession. Again, we still had opportunities to win the game offensively, and defense gave us those opportunities. We just got to capitalize. And what we share with our guys is get used to these type of games. They're going to be big time games every Friday night, sold out. Everybody wants to come and see what the Bruins look like or the opponent that we're going to compete against. But the beauty of us, unfortunately, we lost, but we also learned a lesson. But we get to move on because we had to prepare for Great Bridge. And, even though it's been a short week as we're competing tonight, it felt so long. Because you want to see if you got better from the last time you lined down, and it really counts. So tonight we're really going to see if we improved. It's not necessarily the quality of opponent, but it is the quality of our competitiveness and ability to sustain drives and make stops and be effective in it. Special team in the special part of the game, special team. So, again, our head is up and we're ready to rock and roll. But again, hats off to Kings Fork. This is 2 weeks in a row, 2 years in a row. Sorry, that we have not had an opportunity to come out with a victory. But in due time, I know our guys will get it right, and we'll see what that looks like when that time comes.
Well, I mean, listening to people that attended the game, I mean, it's it kind of reminded me of Western Branch Deep Creek at back in the day. I mean, people talking about having to park at Kings Fork Middle and walk across the street. I mean, it was definitely a packed house. I know that they're Group 4, we're Group 6. But Southeastern District and everybody, when when the ball is kicked off there at the beginning of the, it's a hard fought 48 minutes.
Absolutely. A lot of our players, kind of had that. I guess mental of I wish we could play them again. You know what I mean? Like in the playoffs and things of that nature. But as you mentioned, we're in two different divisions, and it's not like our kids held more in the tank. I just think that and we did not go in just thinking it was going to be an easy walk in the park. But yet our kids kind of figured out, what we needed to do to go 1-0 and get that rep. So we'll see what next year looks like. Again, hats off to Kings Ford. Can't take that away from them. But yet we've learned, and that's the beauty of this game. This game of football gives you so many life lessons that you're going to be able to carry beyond the gridiron, beyond the 4 years of your high school experience. And to me, that's the biggest victory.
Right. And as we turn the page, and look to Great Bridge, I mean, I know that earlier this week, middle school football started, and
Yes.
right off the bat, the two feeder schools, Western Branch and Jolliffe, met up against each other.
Absolutely. Well, the last time we spoke, I told you I wanted to get over to Jolliffe and meet those kids where they are. And it was great. Coach Thomas and I was able to get over there last week, thanks to their athletic director, Mr. Dave Waddell. And we were able to talk to those young men real briefly, but definitely welcome them as they will be future rising Bruins to our football program. And just also gave them powerful words of encouragement for this upcoming season. And then obviously we had a chance to meet with West Branch Middle School and pour into those kids as well. And what a game. Coach Delbridge was able to come out with the win this year, as Jolliffe was able to get the victory last year. But the future is bright here at West Branch High School with the talent that will be coming from both feeder schools.
Yeah, and let's see. How was JV hosted Great Bridge last night, with from the start of this week, and yes, everybody, middle school, plays on Tuesdays this year, but JV playing normally on Thursday, but due to the storm that the remnants is coming into our area here this weekend, we moved a day up. So last night was JV. So how was that, as I see that JV beat Great Bridge?
Yeah, JV, again, they went 1-0 again. I believe the final score was 44-0. You saw kids competing as one. And, defense really, really set the tone for offense. But offense, Coach Thomas got it rolling, and, points started going up. So, we were very proud of our JV team and how they were able to continue to, see themselves improve each week. And tonight, as you know, we lined down as a varsity program, and, we're trying to see if we got better this week. It's been a short week. What we did was we tried to divide the week up and make it Monday and Tuesday feel like 4 days. And then Wednesday was a hybrid. And then now we're ready to line down and go play football. So, very pleased with the way, very pleased how our guys have done and handled this week, but done very well in their preparation.
Yeah, and with Great Bridge, Western Branch, I know that we talked about it last year with Great Bridge coming over and being our homecoming opponent. But, Great Bridge's principal, Jeff Johnson, a Western Branch alum, Mr. Hicks, our principal, Great Bridge alum, varsity baseball coach, Coach Wright is a Great Bridge alum, so.
And you missing one more person, Mark. You missing one more. Lou Johnston.
Yes,
Lou Johnston is a Great Bridge alum.
That's right. Sorry, Coach Jay.
The legendary Coach Jay is a Great Bridge alum. So absolutely, go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's good. I appreciate you having my back, but it's definitely Western Branch, Great Bridge, long time rivalry, and
Yes.
they're off of Mount Pleasant Road here in a couple hours there for you guys.
Absolutely, and we told our kids that this is a rivalry game, and it's kind of unique. The program we have, as many rivalry games we have, and still with a historic win loss record as a whole, as a complete football program. So at the end of the day, this is another game where gloves are coming off, man, and we gotta know how to give that haymaker and deliver it. And I'm excited to see how our kids compete tonight. Obviously, we're dealing with, as you mentioned, some remnants of what is it? Hurricane
Ian,
Ian.
yeah.
Yep. So, with 17-mile-per-hour wind this evening and things of that nature, we locked in, laser focused, and ready to go. So I'm excited, but we Coach E and I, being alum, as Coach Black and several others, we talked about some of the historic matchups that we had back in the 90s and early 2000s throughout the week. But we're excited. That's the beauty about football, man. We get 10 games, and each week you got an opportunity to be a better version of you, and that's all we want out of our kids.
Yeah, and with you and Coach E, Coach Black, Coach Thomas, being Western Branch alums and
Yes.
talking about the matchups back in the day, that leads right into our next segment here, something that we started last year of during something Bruin episodes of Bruin football flashback, and this year here with celebrating the '02 and the '97 teams. We're saving the '97 team for the week of homecoming, but I reached out to Coach Jay about the '87 team, and he just talked about how that was his third season of being the head coach, and started with a team summer camp, and that just the Southeastern District was definitely competitive back then, so we had a decent season, but he said that it got that season off the right foot with a team camp and team bonding and marching towards that play as one.
Again, I agree. I think the foundation, as we talk about the history of West Branch and the success we've had, there are different levels of foundation, from every head coach has been a part of our program from a historical standpoint. And, again, sharing that, I think that was the torch that was passed on to every other class or every other season moving forward, where there were either team camps or midnight gold diggers, where we stayed over in the main gym and did some form of team bonding. So definitely excited. 87, as all the other schools, all the other programs that we had here at Western Branch in regards to football, are another group of guys that paved the way. And I'm pretty sure if we really went a little deeper, there's some big names that came out of that group as well that are currently successful in today in time.
Yeah, and it's I mean the Coach Wright here, he's led the baseball program there since 2005, and and at the bottom of the Western Branch baseball website, it talks about continuing to build on tradition, not resting on one. So
Yes.
it's definitely here with your leadership with the football program, the alums that you have on your coaching staff, and just as you as a player now leading the program and what you've learned, and having Coach Jay on the coaching staff. I mean, definitely the football program continuing the Bruin tradition.
Correct. To me, it's fun, and I can't make it up. As long as our kids are doing it right, and as men, we're doing it the right way as a coaching staff. This isn't a job for me. I was asked this question earlier. how does it feel to be back and so on and so forth. To me, it feels like I'm paying it forward. We had such great coaches during our time and era. Now I'm in a position to give back to our young men and our young ladies within our football program and our community. So it's fun. It's also, like you said, a tradition. And I think that's all we needed. When I got here, I didn't want to change anything, shake anything in regards to, something brand new. All I wanted to do was restore or return things back to tradition. And that's really starting to bring back that Bruin pride within our community. But it starts with our kids. Like, our kids have to be proud of wearing that Western Branch logo, that Western Branch T-shirt, that Western Branch jersey. And the minute they did, the minute our community will follow, and it's been phenomenal. It's been great.
Right. Yes. And, this game was scheduled to play tomorrow,
Yes.
September 30th. It would have been the last day in September, but, it's playing tonight due to weather. But, come Saturday, the calendar turns to October.
Yes.
And don't worry, fans, for the varsity football team, the next 3 out of 4 Friday nights, it's right there at Brander Stadium here to finish off the season. I mean, 3 out of the last 4 Friday nights will be home games.
Absolutely, it's no place like home. But that's what we want. We want our fans to come out and support these young men, cheer them on to victory, continue to encourage them, uplift them, empower them, let them know that they have value, and they have purpose in life, not just football, but just as human beings. Often we get caught up in 40 games and trying to make the best football team we can within that 4 years, but in reality, we want to try to mold and make the best young men we can. So when they do go into the real world and they do, take on things that provide deeper thoughts, they have a foundation and a base. But we really want our fans to come out. The next 3 home games that we do have, October 14th will be homecoming. October 7th will be versus Indian River, another rival. Coach Brandon Carter, head coach at Indian River, is a Bruin alum. And then obviously October 28th, our senior night will be versus Oscar Smith. So we would love for you guys to come out and cheer these young men on. They're doing a phenomenal job in the classroom. They're doing a phenomenal job in the community. And obviously they're competing at a high level on the football field.
Yeah, and the other thing is here we are, the end of September. We started at the end of August, the tight game against Churchland, won in overtime. Labor Day weekend, we were able to get that one via forfeit, but then it was Nansen River, then a tough one, then it was Grassfield, then a tough one against Kings Fork. So here we are, 4-1. First half, and later on tonight starts the second half with that first Friday night in November being our bye week. So next 5 games, or next 5 weeks games, and just take one at a time. Starting
one at a time. Yeah. I'm in agreement. But I told the kids after Kings Fork, I'll take 4-1 before 1-4. When it comes to a record. Then I also dropped in our huddle account that I believe we are 15-4 in 2 years. So obviously we're turning the corner when it comes to a winning culture and a winning mindset. But each week, we share with our kids each week, you got to reinvest in that purpose. You can't just carry over your victory from one week into the other. And I believe our kids understand that, and they've responded. We've had definitely an awesome, good week of preparation, even though it's short. Our kids really came out. They worked hard. We got a little more physical this week. Just trying to put them in that pressure cooker of being uncomfortable. So on Friday nights and in this case, Thursday nights, we're ready to fly around and have fun and compete.
Right. So it's to use a phrase there for the NFL, it's TNF here, here high school football. Forget Amazon Prime tonight.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go.
So, well, hey, Coach Cook, I certainly appreciate your time, and like we talked before we started, I mean, I would have to review the episodes, but since we did, have the same schedule as last year, just flip flop of what was home and what was on the road. I know when we started something brewing last year, that third week of September, we had a little issue. So yeah, I mean, just tell the team on the bus, Rags apologize, and no episode last week or last year, the week in Kings Fork. So maybe just it's just superstitious there.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, look, I'm a huge man of faith, but I do got a little superstition in me. But no worries, man. I mean, either way, we got to show up and compete. But maybe next year we got to block that whole week off.
Right,
It
but
makes sure it's on Thursday. Last year we realized something brewing had to be on Thursday. We
right.
tried every other day of the week that week or something like that, and it didn't work. So, at the end of the day, this is a special platform. We appreciate it, and we understand that you also have things you got to adhere to or take care of. So, I want to say thank you. We don't owe the kids any apology. Our young men are fine. We're fine, and we appreciate what you do for us right now, and what you have done for us within our program, and allowing us to get our word out and bring our Bruin Nation into our home, into our locker rooms, and into the lives of these young men that, again, are doing a phenomenal job on and off the field.
Yes, and like to give a shout out. I didn't ask for permission, but with him growing up in my sister's class, I saw Lorenzo,
Okay.
share to his customers that due to the storm, the grand opening of his new place is was on hold,
Okay.
but he's hoping to do it there, later on in October when everything, gets reopened here as the storm went through Central Florida last night.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, early congratulations, Lorenzo Ferguson, on opening, I believe, his second store. Keep doing great things down South Bend. Definitely, we're proud of you. And just stay fast. You'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. And hey everybody, with don't worry. I mean, we still have homecoming in the second Friday night in October, and looking to line up some episodes leading up to the homecoming game that we did last year. We'll definitely, the highlight there will be the 97 team there during the week, but then what what's it going to be at halftime, recognizing both
Yes.
97 and 02
Yes,
team?
absolutely. I believe halftime it will be, acknowledging them and recognizing them. Also, it'll be other announcements. Obviously, Mr. Paul Sumner does a great job, as the PA announcer for us for our home games, and there'll be other, just acknowledgments throughout that game. I believe our all-state players will be recognized as Chesapeake Public School System, recognized them last spring before graduation.
Oh,
So I believe there will be an acknowledgement of those young men who made the 2021 All-State team from last season. So it's a lot. It's going to be a lot. But, we want the city to shut down and, come back and let's take it back to 1990 or early 2000s or mid 2000s and pack Art Brancher Stadium.
yeah. Well, hey, I mean, with my class being 94, it's
Yep.
it's not a 30th yet, but I've seen from our class, some people trying to carve out their
Nice.
October 14th.
Oh,
So people coming back to the branch.
absolutely. Fill the den. That's what the kids call it now, the den. But come on back to the branch for all the old heads that know. Yeah, that's
Well,
exciting. That's exciting. We want a family atmosphere. We want, as we get older, we understand, it's more moving parts. But, we would love for you guys to come back to Western Branch. It's a lot of changes that we made within our facility and, improvements. And again, we got a phenomenal administration. We have a new athletic director that has hit the ground running, and Miss Tamika Foster has done a great job in the fall season so far, just trying to make things what they are. So we're excited, and not only homecoming, but if you could come October 7th, October 28th, if you want to travel, we go to Deep Creek. Please fill up the gas tank and get here.
right. Yes. And all right, Bruin Nation. Well, hey, that's let's see. I know with Mike Sharp being out of Coach Thomas's class,
Yes,
appreciate him allowing me to use this platform here to promote Bruin football. So Coach Cook, appreciate your time, and that's a wrap. And good luck here to Bruin football here in a few hours there on Stadium Road, and hopefully the high rise bridge won't be too bad.
absolutely. And unfortunately, the high rise is down to one lane. So I believe we may be taking some back roads to get to Great Bridge. But we appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Sharp, for this platform, and thanks a lot, Mark, for having me on every week.
Yeah, sure, no problem. And that's right. We learned that it's definitely Thursday afternoon. Can't mess with moving the day.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, hey, Bruin Nation, time to get ready to go 1-0 tonight, and that's a wrap here for today's episode.
Go Bruins.